Hello, hello. Look who I
Hi.
have with me today. It is a beautiful Pixie. Look at this hot freaking girl.
Hey. Thanks for having me on.
I have with me today. Oh, what's no? What is going on? Holy shit.
Post shadow.
Oh, no, no. Oh, you know what? I tell you, I had to switch my internet because I looked at I was trying to get a pic from yesterday's live to post, and I'm like, why is the quality so shit? Like, what the fuck? What's going on? And then I get a message from my data company. You've used 85% of your data with 20 days to go. And I'm like, how is that possible? My 17-year-old has been
Oh,
downloading for 3 days on his
yeah.
PS4. And I'm like, okay, I need to switch to a different internet for the live.
Yes.
So he woke up to a cranky hormonal mum.
Yeah, so I had that same thing happen I think it was like last week or 2 weeks ago, where I got a message saying you've used like 70 something percent of your data. And I'm like, I thought I had unlimited. What do you mean? I had just moved. Turns out I did not have unlimited, and the 15-year-old boy was doing what he was doing.
Mm,
Hmm.
yes, they're wonderful, aren't they? They're
They're
wonderful.
fantastic.
Okay, hello everyone in the chat. I saw Intrinsic in there, and I think I saw Rebel LC. Hello, welcome to anyone who has come over from Pixie's channel.
Yes,
You girls
hi.
can stir some shit. Hey Daniel, where's my Dans? There's Dan 2, there's Dan 3, and then there's Dan OG. So I've got 3 Dans. Here's a weird thing though. There's went through this period recently where every single time I'd go to my IG, it would be like Dan or Daniel. And then one day I'm just like, hope there's no more Dans coming in today because people in my chat already get confused. I have to explain the process to everybody. And it's an account called Dan. I'm just
Okay.
like, for crying out loud. Hi, Angel Rose. OG Dan, the only Dans, yes. Hey, Kim. Who are Adam? Adam is Perth Reptile. He's one of my team members. Who else was there in that? Perth Storm. Hey, Todd. It's going to be an interesting chat today. Hi, Keish. So you how long have you been doing like your tarot for?
So it's been about, I want to
Hey
say
Josh.
4 years. I started my YouTube maybe about 2.5, 3 years ago ish.
Mm-hmm.
I lost track. I took like a year break in between there, but overall, it's been about 4 years since I got into tarot and really
Mm,
started playing with the cards and doing reads for myself.
mm. Was it like, have you always like had that like ability where like you'll hear from your angels or your guides and things like that?
Yep. So I remember as a kid, I was super sensitive and I blocked most of it out because I was scared shitless. I
Mm,
ran from it for forever, but both my mom and my grandmother are very witchy, but
uh-huh.
they don't really embrace it. But I remember being a teenager and thinking, my grandmother always knows what the fuck is happening and will say, hey, randomly, hey, don't do this. And I was like, how did this bitch know that I was even thinking of doing that? Like, what is wrong with you? So my mom would be like, oh, I had a dream. And I was like, oh, here we go again. I had a dream. All right, mom, tell me about your dream. Well, come on, let's hear it.
It sounds
And
like my
so
story. Holy shit.
it is crazy. So
Mm,
then into finally embracing all of it a few years ago, like there's still some things that I tell my guides, like I'm not okay with certain things. Like I don't want to feel you, I don't want to touch you, I prefer to not see you. Like let's baby step it in here, okay?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Gotcha. Like I was driving to pick the kids up from school yesterday, and because I've been hearing from mine a lot lately, especially the past week. And I do like, with my investigating, bring home a lot of ghosty boyfriends. But I'd cleared them all
Right.
out a few weeks ago. Like, but I had to sage, I had to, smudge with Palo Santo, I had to do like the whole meal deal to get rid of all these spirits.
Uh-huh.
And I'm driving along the highway and like my heart started speeding up and I'm just like, paid no attention. And then out the corner of my eye, freaking someone sitting next to me in the front seat. And and I look and all I saw was like dark, like shadow head,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
And then gone, split second.
Yes.
But it was not a nice energy. And I'm
No.
just like, who the hell are you? Get the fuck out of my
And
car.
get the fuck out.
I don't like you. And, still like 20 seconds later, I'm still feeling it. I'm just like, get
Uh-huh.
out of my car.
Yes, go.
And then it left. I'm just like, dude.
So that's crazy. I had a similar experience. I work in the hospital. I'm a nurse practitioner, so I bring shit home with me all the time. Well, there was one day I was driving, and I remember there was no one in the car with me. I was driving by myself, listening to music, and all of a sudden, I looked in the rear view mirror because I was going to change lanes. And so I looked up, and there was someone sitting
Mm.
right in the middle seat of the back, and I about lost my shit. I was like, I don't, I have no words. And so fuck this. I almost jumped out of the car and I was like, that's not going to help. So
Yeah.
please go. But it was that same thing. It was like a split second type of
Mm.
thing where you see something and it just catches you off guard. Because I mean, who the hell's expecting
Mm.
to randomly see something in their car when they're driving?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the thing. Um,
Exactly.
but yeah, like same with me, like my grandmother, my mother, and she always knew.
Right?
And I'm just, and then with my kids, they're like, how do you know? And I'd just be like, well, because just mums know everything. Like, but then as I've gotten older and, you know, I had a bad experience with an attachment at 15. So I kind of blocked a lot of mine out. And then when I started investigating again, I think being around spirit and, doing my protections and all that kind of stuff, it was just like opening me up more and more and more. And then everything started to just like go crash, boom. Yeah, there's everything. And I'm
Here it
just like,
is.
whoa. Um, I felt like, the movie Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Like my brain, it was just like I could see everything, I could feel everything. It was so freaking weird.
Yeah. It is such a strange experience, and it's something that is so difficult to explain to someone
Mm,
who's never experienced it because they're like, okay, she's batshit crazy. She hears voices.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yep. And I'm like, no, I'm not. So it's just a fine line of really trying to figure out like how do you explain that to someone that's never experienced it and really has zero
Mm.
belief in it.
Like, how do you, like, do you try or do you just go, fuck it? I'm not going there. Like,
Most of the time I
it
say
is what
fuck
it is.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the time I say fuck it. If it's someone that really wants to try to understand, I will explain it. But for the most
Mm,
part, you know, the only people know that I do tarot and I have all of these gifts are people that are really close to me. And then, of course, everyone on my channel and all of you guys who, you
Yeah.
know, we've become so close. But it's funny because, you know, I remember telling my mom, "Hey, mom, I started a YouTube. I'm doing tarot," and she's like, "That's devil stuff," and I'm like, "Okay, mother, we're not going there."
Okay.
So,
See, that's where, like, I remember I asked you guys what would be the best like deck to start with, right?
mm-hmm.
Because I'm interested to see what would come through, and if like I would pull similar energy to say what you might be picking up off of me, or
Right.
you know, someone in the chat. But being a Christian, it's like, I don't know, like it's a fine line, but I'm so like
Yes.
tempted. So how did you like, how do you see it? Like for someone who obviously like believes in God, your parents and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. So the way I see it is it's a tool like anything else, and anything can be used for good or evil. You know what I mean? If we want to go down that
Mm,
road. So for me, it's just, you know, it was something that I had to get comfortable with because it's something that helps me with my intuition, with the messages that I get, and it helps me help other people, you know? So
mm,
that's been my main goal since I started it, was to
mm.
really be there and help people that really needed it. Um, but yeah, it's definitely a fine line for me as well. Like now I don't care, but at the beginning, I mean, it's just not something that I can openly speak to my family about or anything because they tell me I need to go back to church, and I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I know. Well, see, like I haven't been to church for ages, but um the last time I was talking to someone about, you know, they wanted to just, I was going to see them to talk to them just about life stuff that I just wanted some counseling on. But they just focused on my paranormal work.
Mm-hmm.
What you're doing is dealing with demons. They're not human spirit. Human spirit is in heaven. These are all like non-human. They're not,
Right.
you know, so, and apparently I had a demon attached to me. I probably still do. Um, so my head might start spinning,
Yeah,
anything possible, Pixie.
it's fine.
But,
It
you
wouldn't
know, like,
shock me.
yeah. But it was frustrating because I was like, yeah, but I don't need advice
Right,
on the work I'm doing. Like, I'm doing it because I want to help people. You know,
right,
like, how many people are under spiritual attack from whether it's like human spirit, non-human spirit? Like, it's about wanting to like help people.
exactly.
But if I want to talk about what my actual issues are that need counseling on.
Right.
And it was just a lost cause. So I just went,
Just forget it.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it was just that judgment there, and that it shouldn't be the case. Like, it's not about what I'm doing for
Mm-hmm.
work. Because, like you, like I'm in the medical field, but I do veterinary nursing. Um, so, yeah, I thought that was funny when you said you're
Yeah, that's fine.
a
That
nurse.
is funny.
But yeah,
It's
it
just
is
there's so
hard.
much judgment around it, and I'm like, okay, if we want to get really technical, like in the Bible, Jesus was not hanging out with all of the saints. You know what I mean? He was
Mm,
in the thick of it with
yeah.
everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know,
That's
we're all
it.
just doing this thing called life, trying to work our way through and do the best we
Mm,
can while not being
mm.
assholes and helping who we can for the most part, you know?
Yeah, because like you said, you know, if you're doing it for the right reasons, your intent is to help people, to only bring in that like good energy,
Right.
then, you know, why is it such a big deal? I don't get it. Hi, V
I
team. Hi, Kim. Um, yeah, how do you keep out any bad kind of energy?
So I do
And was that
my
like something that you struggled with to begin with?
it is. And initially I was dealing with a lot of heavy attacks and I didn't really know what the hell was going on. I had no idea. I was freshly getting into all of this stuff.
Mm,
And I do my usual saging, my Palo Santo, my prayers. I ask a lot of for help with different angels
mm,
and ascended masters as well, crystals, the usual. But I've gotten really good at reading the energy and saying, okay, this is mine. Oh, wait, okay, this is definitely not mine. This is some really fucked up energy that needs to get the fuck out of here. So let's work on that. And
mm,
sometimes, I mean, it's anything from spiritual baths to, just a quick saging or spray.
mm. And I was in your read this morning, and you were mentioning how, and I think you mentioned it yesterday, how there's like we need to be cleaning out the energy at this time of year. Like, what do you mean about that? Like, is it because the veil's like thin, or
That's part of it. The veil is so thin right now, and especially as we get closer to Halloween, the full moon. I mean, there's just a lot of energetic shifts going on right now. And with the veil being thinner, when you're extra sensitive to energy and you get,
mm,
they show me like a moth to the flame, like, all of the energy and all of the spirits and all of the different entities try to attach. And especially if you're meant to be a light worker, you're meant to help people, you can
mm,
definitely, I feel like sometimes we get even heavier attacks than normal people would get. Just because we're trying to help the collective, we're trying to help raise the vibration, we're trying to do all of that stuff. So that's one
mm.
thing. Then we've had all of the crazy solar shifts. We had a bunch of planets in retrograde. Like it seems like a cosmic shitstorm right now. But
It does.
I don't even know what's going on half the time. I'm just like, okay, there's some kind of shift going on. Someone will be like, oh, this
Mm,
this happened and that planet did that, and then this happened, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I have no clue what happened. I just felt it energetically.
mm. So when can you explain to to the people that are in my chat what a rough meaning of what Mercury retrograde is?
Oh, it's just a cosmic shit show as well. So Mercury retrograde, it's not a new thing. Like Mercury goes retrograde a few times a year at least. And basically any retrograde is really an opportunity for us to kind of really look back and focus on different things that we've been going through. But it seems
Mm,
like Mercury retrograde has just been notorious for exes coming back, for all kinds of electronics to go haywire, and I don't really know why that is. But
weird.
it is so weird, and this one
Mm,
especially has felt so extra Mercury retrograde. I don't know how to explain it any other way. It's just been, I'm like,
mm,
this is just insanity. Like, I think I had pretty much anyone that I've spoken to, like talked to since my divorce 4 years ago, with the exception of like two people, come back and send me some kind of random message this time, and I'm like, what the fuck? What is this?
4 years.
4 years.
Ditto.
Yeah. Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Oh, that's hysterical. All right,
No.
so yeah, Pixie and I were chatting last night, and we were saying things at the same time, and obviously we were messaging, so the message Pixie's came through, then mine came through. It was just like I'm just cracking up, and then it happened today with the awesome. That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's awesome, because usually I don't even see who's like, I'm reading the comments so quickly, and then I was like, oh, it's awesome. So I'm like, oops,
Well, how
okay.
else is it to say it? It's just like I'm just gonna have to go because I was like awesome, and then I went, oh, the handle name's awesome, so
Right.
it's awesome.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
I thought the same thing. I was like,
Really?
oh shit.
That's my
Aww.
Berman. Funny.
So
I
cute.
actually said to the kids yesterday, surprisingly, Nibbles slept through my live stream, which is odd because normally he's prancing around, trying to get my attention.
He's like, I'm not sleeping, Mom.
Oh gosh. So yeah. So you had a recent vacay.
I
Did you
did.
do did you just completely go downtime? Leave me alone, guys. Leave me alone.
I tried. So one thing that it never ceases to amaze me, right? So I've gotten to the point where nothing surprises me anymore. So I'll get into the vacay and why I'm not, we'll talk about that. But it's funny, the reason I'm going to say this is like the first time I went to get an actual tarot reading from someone, she's like, this is going to sound really nuts. And I was like, try me. She's like, a Christian, she's a Christian psychic medium, right? So I was like, okay, let me get my feet wet, whatever. She's like, I have never seen this in my life. I was like, all right. She's like, the best way I can describe it is a big blue fairy dude. Yep. I've been obsessed with fairies since I was a kid. I have one tatted on my back. I was like, yep.
A big blue
Okay.
fairy dude.
Big blue fairy dude. Yep. Apparently is one of my guides. And I was like, all right,
Wow.
cool. Fast forward like a year and a half after that, right? And same reader. She's like, this shit only happens with you. She's like, I have hundreds of clients. I don't understand. And I was like, all right, what? She's like, you're gonna think I'm nuts. I was like, just spit it out. And I had already, like, my guides had already told me, hey, you're on a spiritual timeout. There will be no penis. There will be no booty calls. There will be no men. There will be nothing. You are on a spiritual timeout. You've got work to do. I had already known that. So she's like, they have you on timeout. And I was like, yep, they have you on timeout. Yep.
Holy
She's
shit.
like, so this is where it gets weird. I was like, okay. She's like, they're like extraterrestrials or something. I was like,
no.
big blue fairy dudes and extraterrestrials putting me on timeout. Yep. Okay. Sure. Let's just keep going. I was like, what is it that they want me to do so I can get out of spiritual timeout and go get some? Right? Like, what is it going to take here? So,
oh my God.
I decide last minute with this recent vacay, I was going to go to Mexico. And last minute, something kept telling me, no, you need to go to the Bahamas. And I was like, but I don't want to go to the Bahamas. I want to go to Cancun. They're like, no, Bahamas. I'm like, okay, Bahamas it is. So I ended up going with my sister. For some reason, I knew she had to go. She knew she had to go. We're like, all right, we're just going to go. We're going to make it happen. We're going. I think it was like the day before I was getting ready to leave. I had a reading done and she's like, hey, so Bahamas? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, you're going with your sister, right? I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, you guys are going to recalibrate, some kind of portal. And I was like, the fuck? Can I just go on vacation and get my ass in the sand? Like, just disconnect, do nothing. She's like, nope, you're going there to do what you need to do. She's like, you're going to feel some weird energy. I'm like, okay. So it was a vacation. There was some relaxing, but it was definitely interesting.
Did you see any big blue?
Oop, I think we lost you. Hey, Gigi. Oh, where'd we go? Oh, hi. I'm happy you guys made it over here. I'm definitely not wanting to run the show here. Let's see. While when she had turned into an orb, while we wait for her to get back on here, do you guys have any questions specifically for me? Damn Mercury post shadow. We were just talking about that. Hey, Andre. Damn Mercury.
Oh, yay!
Shadow. Yay! I was like, okay, do you guys have any questions? I'm like, I'm not supposed to run the show. Where'd you go? Come back. Come back.
Holy shit. You know what's weird? I haven't had that happen for so long. And what was it the other day? I had I was having issues with like connecting with something, and I was like right in the middle of doing something, and I'm just like, what is happening right now? Like, guys, please stop screwing me around and get this shit on the road. Like, hurry up.
Yep, I don't have time for this. Let's go.
Oh my goodness. Daniel wants to know, do you use multiple tools in tarot like numerology, astrology?
All right. So, Daniel, I pick up numbers in the cards and in the oracle messages and stuff like that I get. But really, you can use anything as a tool, which goes back to that whole using tarot cards really is more of a tool, right? So like one thing that we got today, I don't use astrology as much because like I said, I don't know much about it. I just know the energy that I feel. But like even it was pretty funny. I ordered these story dice that we were using.
Oh my gosh, the die.
Today. Yes. And it was hysterical because we were talking about, hold on, let's see. So there's all kinds of different, they're upside down. Here's our little doorbell one. I have no idea where that one would even be, but it was funny because we were talking about a gift and we got a card that had a gift on it, and then we get that one that has a gift on it too. And it's just funny how everything like just works together no matter what it is. There's charms, there's different things that I use, but numerology really is just, sometimes numbers will stick out to me for whatever reason, and I don't really know why, because all of the cards have numbers on them, but it's only sometimes that I'm like, oh wait, hold on, that number's important for whatever reason. But
yeah, the first one of those that you picked up was rather entertaining.
Yeah, so of course my mind is always in the gutter. My mind is always in the gutter. It lives there permanently. Sometimes there's just deeper levels to this gutter. So I'm telling the entire tribe, I'm like, guys, I've never used these die. I don't know. We're just gonna see what happens. We'll see what I get. And one of the first pictures was some dude eating a cookie or a taco or something, and I was like, oh, he wants to eat your cookie. Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, come on, like, it's not like we really behave in the chat, to be honest. So
no, there is no behaving ever.
We don't really behave in the chat.
No, it's actually a really fun time.
Guys, am I breaking up? Am I breaking
you're
up?
Good now.
Like for you guys in the chat? Okay. All right. Daniel's asking another question. Do you ever use tarot to communicate with or read the dead?
So I don't use tarot specifically for that. I actually, that's one of my things where I'm still a little hesitant on the whole mediumship thing. But every once in a while, it'll come through very clearly. Like I think it was last week in one of the reads where someone's grandmother popped through, and I was like, ah! Hold on, I'm not ready for this. but again, it's just my comfort level. I'm not quite there yet. Sometimes they're pretty persistent on coming through. And those are the ones that I tend to pick up on just because as my own personal comfort zone, I'm a huge chicken shit, you guys. So this is all I'm like, oh, hold on. I don't even like scary movies. Like it's interesting.
What did Oh, you can hear and see me. Okay, cool. And Pixie. Awesome.
I love you. I'm on live, bud.
Do you like get psychic downloads?
I do. And so, I mean,
do you get psychic ones?
Yep, breaking up a little bit there. I do get some. I just get random channeled messages. I'll be driving. I get a lot of messages and songs. So really, I think because that's the way I understand messages clearest. They'll give me a song or just a part of a song, even if it's something I've never heard before. I'm like, I can someone get the tune and then have to Google it and try to figure out what freaking song it is. I'm like, I've never heard this song. I don't know what that is. But definitely get messages, dreams, and all of it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was thinking, like, just in case I lose connection, do you want to try and like see if you can pick up on anyone's energy that's in the chat?
As far as doing like an actual read or just picking up their energy, period.
Like a collective, like you'd normally, yeah, kind of like how you'd normally do it with the people who are in your chat.
Yeah, like just like a quick collective little spread.
Yeah, like
yeah,
just
we
a
can
quick
do
one.
that.
Yeah.
I had a feeling. I didn't put my tarot card away.
No.
It's right here. I'm like, we might need this. All right, so I figure out what I want to use.
Do your guides usually like tell you like pull that one out? Yeah.
Yep. And a lot of times it's funny because I'll be fighting with them in my head. I'm like, no, I don't want to. And they're like, pick that card up, pick those cards. Those cards. And I'm like, but I don't want to. I don't want to touch those cards. So let's see. They're telling me, I think it's appropriate. I don't remember the name of this deck, but I call it my creepy eye deck. So we're going to be using that one.
Oh.
It's the artwork on here is beautiful.
Oh, that's pretty.
So let's see. So for collective energy, for those in the chat that are watching right now, let's see what messages do. Okay. They're already popping out. So
hi, Nikki. Hi, Annette.
I think collectively, we're all going through this transformation, right? Of letting go of really hard shit that we've been going through. I mean, even with the last year and a half or whatever. But oh boy, this is good. This is really, really good. So we're at the end of cycles. We're closing things up, and I'm like, which way is the camera going? It's that process of rebirth. They're really pointing out the butterflies to me on here. I just heard hold on to your ass because things are going to start moving quickly. Okay. They really want you guys to tap in to your own inner knowing, inner understanding, your intuition. You've got everything that you need within you. So a lot of times, we look to other people for advice, for even tarot readings and all of this other stuff, which is definitely helpful to confirm, but you already have everything within you that you need to know. Okay. We have this judgment, which can be about an opportunity to do things over. It's about making final decisions. But bottom line is we have this opportunity coming in. In order to make the right decision, which I feel you guys will, you're going to be using your intuition, you're using your head, but you're also balancing your head and your heart is what they're showing me to really decide what's right for you. And again, that goes within what you've got within. Let's see.
Those cards are
stunning. They're absolutely my favorite.
I haven't seen you use them before.
I think I've only used them like once in the last, I don't know. I don't use these very often. They're a little bit darker. Yeah, I told you were gonna be using your brain there, your mind, really thinking things through. But look at that. It's truth, it's clarity, it's having the wisdom and the knowledge that you already need within you. And we've got the Nine of Cups, which is all about wish fulfillment, satisfaction. They're saying something about the pressure of everything that we've been going through. It's like they're showing me the crushing of grapes to make wine.
Interesting.
Very interesting. They're talking, it's something about, for a lot of you, it's going to be a new business venture or something that you're doing. Passion project is what they said. Interesting. Okay. And it's fun. I love this. Look at this. I told you, hold on to your ass. We are going to be moving. And we've got the Chariot towards the sun. Really, you cannot get any better than that. So the Chariot is all about forward movement. But in order to get that Chariot to move forward, you have to know what direction you're going. And that's where that balance between the head and the heart comes in. And it's also fast movement. It's not a slow and steady wins the race. It's I see what I want. That's what I want. I'm fully clear on what I want, and I'm going for it. And it looks like a beautiful outcome with the sun and clarity. Yeah, for a lot of you, it's definitely something that you might have been working on for quite some time. You've got the ambition here with the stamina card at the. Oh my gosh! Stop it! Look at this. Making progress. Look, making progress.
Oh, good
putting
Lord.
Work in, right?
Yeah.
That stamina to keep going, knowing what you want. That's pretty funny because she's holding a picture of what exactly it is that she wants there in her hand. She's like, nope, that's it. That's what I want. And then you come up with the Ace of Cups, which is all about, first and foremost, self-love, but it's new beginnings. With the clarity, the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Cups, it's just amazing.
Wow. Is that resonating with anyone?
Might be something you thought you wouldn't have, because I'm pointing in the wrong spot there. The apple, to me, anytime I see apples in tarot, it's like temptation or something that seems forbidden or something like that. But this whole time it's been protected. You've got the dragon right on top protecting that. It's really cool.
Wow. That's awesome. Jesse.
Oh man.
Totally. Jessica, that's right. She was specific. Always. MJC, which is Mason, said, this is crazy. Yeah. Let me put it. You know, OMG.
That's insane. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like one of the funniest things is how when Spirit
Internet.
is trying to I think your internet's cutting in and out there. Sounded like a robot for a second, then I completely lost you again. But MJC, it's when Spirit has messages for you, it doesn't matter, where you get the messages from, they'll keep telling you the same thing.
I froze up. Froze up. What an
Froze
awesome
up.
post to freeze on. Tell you what. Oh, fuck my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I keep freezing, guys. My 17-year-old has used 85% of my internet since he got home Sunday night. And today's Tuesday. He was downloading on his PS4. So I wanted to kill him because I have 20 days until my internet resets. And I'm like, mate, I have work to do. The next 2 weeks are flat tack.
Uh-huh.
So I'm probably going to be going to my sister's house, to my team member's house, just so I can freaking upload my episode for Monday.
It's insane. And they don't get it. They don't get it. They're like, I was downloading stuff. What's the big deal?
I know. But like, see, when you have like your kids like pop in and like, you're just like, how many times? How many times are you going to ask me that? I get the
Question.
same thing. And it's like,
Right. Like I just told the oldest before I was jumping on here, hey, I'm doing a podcast. Keep it down, no blasting music and stuff. And he's just, coming over to the door. I love you. Go now. I'm like, are you trying to sneak out on that pink bicycle again, sir?
No. Oh my gosh. Yeah, see, like I don't mine just like my 10-year-old, like that's my youngest. That's 17 and 19. But yeah, like he will just do that. He'll come to the door and just be like, I love you. I'm like, I'm live, dude. I know. And then he'll just casually walk past and then sit on my bed and I'm just like,
I'm live.
dude.
Yep, that's my little one.
So I've actually put a sign on my door saying meditating, do not disturb. And, I did it so they didn't interrupt me while I was trying to do my meditation. But I said to them the other day, you know what? I'm so over walking into my bedroom and like it's usually a 10-year-old being in there and just not knocking, just him waltzing in and out like, I said, this is staying on my door.
Leave me alone.
I had a suggestion, because I don't have a lock on my door, put a door stopper underneath. So I'm just like, why did I not think of that earlier?
That is a very good idea. Yeah, well, I mean, clearly I have my door locked, but they'll just stand there and knock instead,
Yeah, it's just, it's very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Until you're someone who is just get in with their own abilities. Because you do intuitive coaching, don't you?
I do. That's something that I've actually recently started out. Do not disturb ever. Exactly. And basically, the best advice that I can give you is really tune into what you're feeling. A lot of times we get messages, like from myself, initially when I first started getting messages, I didn't even realize they were intuitive hits or intuitive messages because it sounded
Mm,
like my own voice. But it's
yeah.
always that you can tell the difference because it's not something that you're sitting there overthinking. It's something that just comes in. You're not even focused on that, or you can be
Mm,
doing something random and you automatically get a thought or a message pop in that is, even if it's like the worst thing that you could think of, there's like this calm
mm,
feeling about it, like you just know.
yeah.
So that's one of the things that I would suggest. And really, just protect your energy as much as you can, whether that's sage. Everyone has their own way of doing their protections, but especially when you're first opening yourself up to your intuition and the spiritual side of everything, um, it can be really tricky to figure out what's what.
Mm, yeah. Like learning to discern what's good, bad. Like I had, like when I get premonitions, and same kind of thing, like you're saying, it'll just pop in, right? So
Yep.
I just woken up. The kids were with their dad down south, and they were getting home at, I don't know, whatever time it was that day. I didn't know the time they were getting home. And, so I just get up, go to the kitchen, making my coffee, and I get this premonition of a car accident because William, my 17-year-old, has been, driving, is getting his
Mm-hmm.
license. And I didn't see my ex, but I saw my two boys. And I knew that Will was the one driving. And it was just like a quick flash like that. But I instantly knew, like, shit, I need to like message Troy because my daughter is also on her L's. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
neither of them. I don't know which one it is that was driving, but neither of them. Do not let them drive. And I'm so thankful that he listened to me and they hadn't left. But I think because of premonitions I've had in the past that had come to pass, he was just like,
Knows to listen.
got it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, especially when it's to do with the safety, of your kids, like I'm getting covered in chills just thinking about it. But yeah, it was just, I didn't even realize until after I put my phone down that it had all just happened. I was just like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as he messaged me back, I was like, it was fine. I was fine. Didn't worry for the rest of the
Yeah.
day. But
No. And that's the other thing too, really listening to your body. And sometimes we can't process what we're getting, but we know how we feel. So if you're around certain
mm,
people or certain things or certain energies, you can pick it up and it can physically make you feel sick. It can make your heart race. It can give you headaches. So really pay attention to what you're feeling and like don't ignore it.
mm. How would you advise like someone like who's starting out to know the difference between their ego and messages?
That's something that we struggle with so
Mm.
much. Even still to this day, the ego will kick up and I'm like, all right, now you need to take a seat, stop it. But really, I think the biggest way of differentiating between that intuition and the ego is you're not thinking about it. It's just that calm inner knowing, that stillness. Whereas with the
Mm.
ego, that's where you get that overthinking and the unsettled feeling and like, oh, but wait, hold on, I need to dig in some more because you're kind of overshadowing your intuition at that point.
Mm.
It's being overtaken by that ego or the fear or any of it, you know?
Mm. Like I've been doing like more guided
Mhm,
meditations
mhm.
because then and that's something that um who was it? Was it Angel that asked? Yeah, I think it was Angel. It's something that you can try because then you're listening to the person speaking and you'll just start getting like either words or images just popping in. Not always,
Right.
like, but you know, like my guide showed me a two-story red brick house the other day, just like random. Oh, okay. But yeah,
Noted.
like popping in like that. Yeah. Is that maybe a house that's haunted that
Got
I
it.
need to investigate?
Like, can we have some specifics? Right. And that's part of what they
Yeah.
do sometimes too. It's like, okay, thank you. I'm very appreciative for these messages, but can you tell me what the fuck it means? Because
I know. I know.
yeah. But the
Can you
guided
just
meditations
write
is
it
actually a real
detailed?
right. Give me a little bit more information. Like, is that where I'm going to live? Is that what? But the guided meditations definitely is a good idea. I still struggle with meditating because my brain is always going.
Mm,
And a lot of the time I'll have my AirPods in. I'm always listening to music because it kind of drowns out some of the messages and all of it, right? And the
yeah.
guided meditations is actually a really good way to keep my mind focused on meditating as much as
Mm.
possible. And you get those messages pop through while you're doing it. That's actually, yeah, that's a great idea too.
Yeah, because I have the same issue. And one of my friends who's Reiki healer, you know, medium, like he mentors. You know, his abilities are insane. They're amazing. You know, he said to me, I'll help you more when you start meditating, when you start taking time for yourself. Because I'm just like work, 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 not slowing down, not slowing down.
Mhm.
Once I saged and cleared out all the energy, it was like focused. You know,
Yeah.
that focus came back, and I was just like, oh, I feel so much better now. Um, but yeah, because if I'm just listening to music and trying to lay there or sit there, my head's like going to a bajillion different spots.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's like my to-do list. I need this for groceries. Like it's just the multitasking of trying to do it all, you know?
Mm,
And I think that you hit the nail on the head with that as far as taking time for yourself and really meditating and putting yourself first because
mm.
everything will get done, but the quality and efficiency of what you do when you're centered and balanced is so different when you can get that in.
Yeah. I mean, even my boss, they're all their whole family is like spiritual. Um, and he said like you are so scrambled in the head. He said when you sort your shit out and align yourself because all your chakras are just freaking out of whack, I will do some Reiki healing on you to help center you again.
Yeah.
So it's just like, damn, okay, I need this, I need this. Meditate, 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 meditate.
Yeah, yeah, and it's they actually have a lot of binaural beats that I'll do at night
Yeah.
for
Mm,
sleeping. I mean, there's even Reiki on YouTube that you can find. I'm just always I tell people to be very cautious of who you let do energy work on you
mm,
because you never know where their energy is at. But that's actually something that I wanted to get back into because I did a level 3 Reiki certification
mm.
years ago. It was like 3 years ago, and I haven't used it since. Haven't used it since. Um,
Yeah.
so all of that stuff, anything that you can do to really get you centered and grounded and really back into alignment with you and your true self and who you are, will always make every other aspect of your life that much better.
Mm. And like, do any of your kids, have any of your children inherited your abilities that you know of?
All three of them, and they're
Oh
all
wow.
different. My son is just super, he's like an energetic sponge. He picks everything up,
Mm.
everything. My middle child is more, she gets the dreams and she does get some channeling and stuff. Actually, both of my girls, it's funny because I'll be thinking of a song sometimes. Like I was getting Frank Sinatra last year or something like that. It was the Fly Me to the Moon song. And I was channeling it on live for like 3 or 4 days straight. And then one day I go
Wow.
pick up my daughter, she was what, 7 at the time, and she starts singing Fly Me to the Moon. And I'm like,
Wow.
you're 7. How the hell do you know about Frank Sinatra? It's not like I blasted around the house. Like, what? So when stuff like that like happens, it's just I had a similar experience with my middle child where I was getting that song Speechless and I was singing it, and like the kids came home from their dad's house and my middle child was sitting in the passenger seat and she just starts singing Speechless, and I'm like, why are you singing that song? She's like, I don't know, I just keep hearing it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, do they know?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
They do. So, at initially they were all like, "Mom's nuts. She's lost her shit. She's completely off her rocker."
Mm-hmm. That's
And
my
now,
17-year-old. Yep.
yeah, and now they'll be like, "Mom, can you use your pendulum? Mom, can you pull some cards?" And I'm like, "Huh, yeah, I can
Mm.
do that."
Oh gosh. Says I've been meditating for 25 years. I still struggle with it. Oh, and I'm
Yeah,
lagging again.
you are a little bit. Yeah, the meditating, I mean, I think part of what we need to realize too is that it's never going to be perfect. It's not about being perfect with it. It's about the mindfulness of it and trying to stop the monkey brain, the monkey mind of constantly going, oh no, she's an orb again. Oh, thank you, Andre. Appreciate it. How can you protect yourself from getting spiritual attachments aside from sage and prayer? That's all
Am
I
I
really do,
working?
Elsie. Oh, hi, you're back.
Yay! I should have just let you do the stream.
No, no, definitely not.
Oh my Lord. Good
It's funny
grief.
because I like get nervous anytime it's anything other than my YouTube stuff. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. What
Yeah,
would
I
you
know.
suggest? I mean, how do you protect yourself with everything that you do as far as with all of the investigations and everything else that you do?
Um, prayer.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like mainly prayer, and more recently, through doing my meditation, because I've always had Michael around me, who,
Mm-hmm.
I just contributed to, my protection.
Yep.
But I recently um, discovered my other two guides, and one's it took me forever to try and get the pronunciation, but I think it's Jahariel. It's like an angel. And what was the other one? Kale. So yeah, like since that, which has just only been the last few weeks, I use both. So I'll ask God for protection over me, my teammates, my guides, and my angels, because I see a lot of angels.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because all three of my guides are angels. And what was even more interesting is that Jahariel is an angel who is linked with work with Michael, which I thought was interesting.
Huh.
So so far, like, I haven't had anything, like, negative. I get a lot of male spirits. Typical.
Same.
I think I've only had maybe 1, 2 females, but they haven't even hung around. I haven't had to ask them to leave. But, I went through a phase where I got really slack with my protection and I was being quite reckless. And, I'll always like tell the spirits before we leave, like, you can't follow us, you can't touch equipment, gear, anything. And I'd be forgetting to do that. And I think that's how I accrued this little horde of ghosty boyfriends. And yeah, so, and it took me a while even to figure out that, they're oppressing me. Like, I was just feeling really like low a lot of the time and being really, really hard on myself, taking everything that anyone said to me just to heart and just like, I'm not good enough. And then I'm just like, hang on a sec, like,
That's not me.
This is not right. Like, what the hell's going on? And yeah, so got rid of them all. And yeah, I feel good. So
it's definitely
but yeah,
a process.
it's so important to, and I get quite a few people like DMing me who have, watched some of my investigations or found my channel, and, it's inspired them to, want to, try, doing it. And so they'll ask me, like, do you have any advice? And my first thing is always know how to protect yourself before you even step foot, like in the building, on the land. Protect yourself, and do it as you're leaving as well. So yeah, but I love it. It's fun.
See, it's funny because again, when I first got into all of this, it was a crazy story and how all of that happened. But anyway, I ran into this lady randomly, right? Because nothing is coincidental or random. And she basically was like, has anyone ever told you, like, you've got this gift? And I was like, okay, crazy lady. Nope. You would be the first. Okay. But she was reading my life to filth as well and telling me things that I hadn't shared with anyone else because I thought I was just losing my mind. But it's funny because she's like, hey, you're like, she's like, do you remember ever watching the movie Poltergeist? And I was like, I had my hair standing up from top to bottom of my body. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, that movie scared the shit out of me. And I cried for like a week. She's like, well, you're like little Annie. I was like, excuse me, what? What?
No.
She's like, yeah, you're supposed to be like, I don't know, part of my job here is what they say to help souls transition. And I'm like, fuck, no, not it. You picked the wrong bitch. This is not her. No. So,
Oh my
being in the
gosh.
medical field and working in the hospital where, I mean, we deal with everything all day in and day out, I've actually come to realize, like, you do get those attachments and you can sense when you're not feeling right. And sometimes you're like, what is wrong with me? Why am I feeling so heavy or so tired or so negative or so whatever? And really, you're picking up other people's energy or other
Yeah.
entities.
Yeah. And see, like, I think my thing was knowing, because I just got completely blocked. And I wasn't getting anything. And I'm just like, what's happening? Because, like, I've had that happen before.
Yeah.
But it was because, like, I was kind of transitioning and like going into the next phase, I suppose.
Yep.
But yeah, this one, no, I was just completely out of whack, completely out of alignment. Um, and so I think learning about how energy works and like I can see it. I know that sounds weird, but if I, tune into it, like I can see like all the different like the colors and the waves and the patterns. It's really weird. But yeah, like my abilities have started kind of blowing back
They
in and I'm
change.
just like, yeah. Just like thank God for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And some days you're just like, oh, well, that's new. I wasn't expecting that. What the fuck was that? But
Mm.
I think
But
it's a
the
process that,
poltergeist, the,
uh-huh.
the poltergeist movie, I was obsessed with that movie. I watched all of them. Like I was like her sitting at the TV transfixed.
It's so funny. I was like, no, 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 nope, nope, mm-mm, mm-mm. No, and it's funny because even like scary movies, I have no problem like serial killer documentaries. I have no problem with like the gory stuff. No problem at all. You bring in the spiritual scary movies, and I am the biggest chicken shit. I'm like, nope, I'm out. I'm not. Can't do it. I will not sleep for 3 days. I'm like sitting there with a rosary in my hand. I'm like, where's the holy water? I'm losing my shit. I'm like, no, no, we're not doing this.
No, yeah, no. I had to have like a horror movie break. Because of, there was certain horror films that were tied to what happened to me at 15 and yeah, like it just
It's too
I
close to
can't
home.
like do yeah, like I can't do mm, the poorly like done ones because I get frustrated because I
Mhm.
know what's going to happen next. And I like to watch, say, thrillers that they you've got to think about it because
Yes.
like when you're intuitive, you just kind of are like, yeah, and such is going to do this, and they're going to do that, and my
Yep.
ex used to say to me all the time, like, well, how do you know that? And I'm just like, oh, well, because she said that, like in that scene, and he did that, and then sure enough, he'd be like,
Thanks for ruining the movie, babe.
I know, I used to have to shut up. But like he would ask me, and my daughter is just as bad. Opening scene. Well, why'd they do that? And I'd be like, I fucking don't know. It's the first scene.
Like, give it a minute. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh shit. But yeah. I don't know. So what's your favorite movie genre to watch?
I honestly love all of it, but lately, I like comedies. Anything that makes me laugh. I think that just where I'm at,
Mm,
you know, things that bring you down, things that are really heavy and negative, I can't do it anymore. Um, so,
mm,
we've got those feel good movies, but like rom-coms I'm not a huge fan of, but actual just comedies are good. I actually watched one today
mm.
and I was like, what the fuck was that? It was trending on Netflix. It was called Till Death, and me and my friends sat there and looked at each other at the end and we're like, what
What did we just
was
watch?
that? Yeah, so it
What's it
was
called?
interesting to say the least. Till Death, it's with Megan Fox.
I might have to watch it because yeah, it sounds yeah. Is it one of those that you just like, hmm?
Right.
I
And I was like, are they purposely
don't.
trying to piss the people off watching it? Or I was a
Oh
little
yeah.
stumped with it, but it was definitely interesting.
Mm.
I'd watch it again. So
I think that's probably like one of my pet peeves. It's like watching a movie, because I rarely, in fact, I don't remember the last time I sat and watched a full movie, but if you watch one and you kind of like, you don't want to start another one, so you just, watch it
you
all the
just
way
finish
through.
it.
And the ending is so bad that you just
Sit
stare
there and
at
stare.
TV like, worst movie ever.
Yeah.
That was a great 2 hours. Wasting my time. Thank you very
Yep.
much.
Yep. Thank you very much. Yeah. I mean, overall, I think it was good. But there was just some scenes in the movie where I was just like, okay, well, I would have done that a little differently. But that's one way to
Oh,
do it.
gosh.
That's one way to go about it.
Oh, good grief. Oh, my goodness. You all got dirty minds.
We do.
Oh, good Lord. What's it called? It's got Richard Gere and Edward Norton in it. It's a thriller. And it has got a twist at the end that it's such a good movie. It's an older movie now, but it's fucking brilliant. So yeah, like I love those movies where you think it's gonna happen and end a certain way, and then it's just like bam.
Yep.
And I love it. Love it. Someone asked me if I use crystals. I do have some crystal bracelets, but I need to re-cleanse and charge them, and I need to buy some new ones. So I also see is effing stunning.
Thank you.
Well, I know frozen.
You want to rub oil all over
Can
the
you hear
bubble.
me?
You're breaking in and out, my love.
Yeah, all right. I think we're going to end it, guys, before like I get cut off completely. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm so sorry about the connection.
It is it happens to me all the time. I'm used to it. I'm like, okay, it's cool. But thank you so much for having me. It's definitely been fun.
It has. And yes, I'm sure we'll have many chats.
I'm sure.
Thank you, everybody in the chat, and for everyone who came over from Pixie's channel. I hope you all Primal Fear. Yes, that's the one, Dan.
Primal Fear. Yes, that was a good one.
That was a very good one. Very, very good. So yes, thank you, everyone. Have a safe night, and yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Pixie. I'll chat to you in a sec. All right, bye.